How we doing, Suns fans? I'm not feeling great. Uh, Games like this, they always sting, especially when you put a little more sauce on them. A little bit of sauce because of Timberwolves rivalry. This one definitely hurts. Uh, okay, let's just get started here. Tough one. Uh, we just get everything check here. Yeah. All right. Let's get started here. Wait, double check Mike. Mic check. I think Mike might be good. Just double check it. I hate when my mic doesn't completely work. Okay. Yeah. All right, we should be good. All right. Yeah. What up, Suns fans? Suns break and lose their 3-game winning streak to the Minnesota Timberwolves, losing a big game for the West, stopping the Suns' climb further up the West standings. We'll get more into that in later on, but for now, final score: Minnesota Timberwolves win with 121 to the Suns 113, and we will talk all about this crushing loss for the Suns in just a second.
Kevin Durant delivers. Gorgeous move for Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
Oh boy, it's a crushing loss for the Phoenix Suns here. Not only losing their 3-game winning streak, but if you didn't know, this is I hyped it. I hyped this up as being a game for the 7th seed, and it basically was. As we'll give you a quick uh, standings update right here. With the Suns lost tonight, they become 24 and 22 on the season, and that makes them fall from their 8th seed to the 9th seed as the Mavs won over the Pelicans tonight. Um, and obviously Minnesota beat beat us. So they keep the 7th seed. uh a bad loss of one, especially when the Suns are really trying to build momentum here during the later half of the season. These are really crucial weeks for the Suns, and you hate to see the Suns basically take a misstep towards rising up the Western Conference, as this is probably the highest we've been in the West like since November. We've been fighting in and out of the play-in, so you hate to see that once again, all that work just go down the toilets as the Suns are now the 9th seed in the West. And this game, quite a crusher, a very different one from the last time we were in Minnesota. I still, God, that game, I still hate that game. uh for Not only was it a game winner that really shouldn't have happened. I mean, the ref report after said it was a missed call. So I mean, it sucks. All right, that's what I'm getting at here. It sucks, and it sucks losing to the Timberwolves again in what should have been a return to form for the Phoenix Suns as they once again try to build momentum here in the West. A lot of trouble, a lot of concerning troubles that are continuing from last game the Suns had against the LA Clippers. Which resulted in a win. That one went way better. But in that game, I did mention how the Suns had this sloppiness factor in the second half, and it ultimately almost costed them the game. Um, really didn't want to see that again, but unfortunately, that is the story for tonight and is the reason why the Suns ended up losing this game. Suns basically scoring 59 points there in the half against Minnesota. which I believe at the time of halftime was a 4 point lead going into halftime. Honestly, great again. I love that the Suns are building on this, and for everything that went wrong tonight, we could all at least appreciate that half put together by the Suns, as once again they came out looking dominant. They played great defense against the Timberwolves, causing many crucial turnovers. I say all of this with kind of a bittersweet afflection on it, because oh boy, that second half, a lot of these words came back to bite the Suns. Um, but just to finish out the first half here, Suns were playing great defense. They were shooting the ball well. They were pushing the ball well, and they created some of the greatest highlights of probably the Suns season. If you don't know, and it's probably the main highlight us Suns fans get to take home from tonight's loss, is Booker's amazing game. Well, play saving play that he did, and it was awesome. That is probably, I'm not joking, literally probably one of the greatest plays of this Phoenix Suns season as of yet. I don't know if you saw it. I'll put it up in the edits after this show. But if you don't know, just go on to Suns Twitter. You'll be able to find it. It's just amazing play of Booker able to save a pass that Bradley Beal tossed too far ahead of him, saved it to Grayson Allen, and Booker hustled back from the crowd as he fell in trying to save the ball, and he did this amazing hook shot. Great play, and is awesome, uh, and was a great cap to the second half. Um, but that's where the compliments for the Phoenix Suns stop, as all the hustle, all the defense, and all the just dominance that the Suns came out looking to press and start this game off well. All of a sudden, then faded going into that second half. Suns this season have had notoriously bad thirds, and tonight is no different, as that third is quite the game changer for tonight. Minnesota outscored the Phoenix Suns 26 to 18 in that third, and that third was quite, it went as terribly as you could have imagined by that box score numbers. Okay. The main reasons I would contribute it to is the Suns started to miscommunicate a lot with each other during that third. Um, just not that many Suns players understanding each other, where to be on offense, not going to meet the ball when they're passing it, and or just general standing still, as that third quarter saw a lot of iso ball, a lot of players just standing still, and that doesn't really mix well when the Timberwolves have some of the lengthiest guys in the NBA with their long arms that are able to basically outstretch Booker. And as we all know from that playoff series, gave Book some troubles. And basically, when Book is now running your offense tonight, he had 8 assists out tonight and has basically been our point guard for the last couple of games. He's the offensive hub and has been doing a pretty fine job getting his team and his teammates all involved. But tonight, he couldn't really do the same, as that stagnant offense and the general long arms of the Timberwolves ended up causing Book a team leading 9 turnovers. And that loops into another point, why the Suns had a pretty disgusting second half, is the turnovers started to amp up. That third quarter alone, the Suns had 7 turnovers. Compared before that, the first half, the Suns only had 6 turnovers. So 7 turnovers alone in the third quarter is a big reason why the Minnesota Timberwolves were able to turn this game around. And it wasn't just the Suns being miscommunicating with each other on offense and defense as they were leaving guys open. Um, I, credit to the Timberwolves. They played some amazing defense near the second half there. As the game has ended, They have successfully caused the Suns 16 turnovers as a whole team. The Suns did return fire and also caused 16 turnovers for the Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves massively profited off of the Suns' turnovers and fast breaks as they scored 20 of their points from those 16 Suns turnovers. Um, so turnovers and that defense miscommunication, and also just not having answers for certain Timberwolves players. I hate to say it, but Julius Randle on the Timberwolves, whatever kind of season he's been having, is not mine to comment on. I'm not a Timberwolves fan. Why do I care? I mean, Cat to New York, that's been a that sucks for the Timberwolves. Awful trade. Um, but for some reason, I hate to say it, with all the hate surrounding Julius Randle, he just has to come into Phoenix and he has to have one of the best games of, I wouldn't say his career, but it definitely was a huge problem that the Suns could not allow for the second quarter to continue. Julius Randle ended up leaving the night with 28 points. And this causes a problem for the Suns as he was able to basically drive down into the paint, bullying his way, bully ball style, and getting any kind of layup and drive he wanted. And in basketball terms, once one guy becomes the problem, then you naturally have to double team him, which leaves the guy open. And now you got Julius Randle, who is not a bad passer by any means. He had 6 assists tonight, not a single turnover. And that ended up leading Julius Randle to finding his teammates, in which they were able to profit of off of those Julius Randle drives, kick and drives kind of plays. And that creates more struggles and problems for the Phoenix Suns as the Suns do not scramble to those open shooters now, and it allows the Timberwolves to get an open three. As sorry if I mispronounced this name right. I'm just not familiar with these Timberwolves players. Nickel Alexander Walker had himself a pretty major game from that, going 5 of 10 from three from the arc, and is mainly one of the guys that profited off of Julius Randle's kick and drives, always finding the corner and being able to switch the three. So a lot of that main offense for the Timberwolves, Suns not being able to find a proper answer for Julius Randle and constantly turning over the ball, and also just not communicating on defense. And there you go. You let this you let the Wolves go and score 66 on you in the second half. Meanwhile, the Suns score I'm not good with quick odd even math, but I'll 44 points, 54 points in the second half. Uh, so that is the main reason why your Phoenix Suns ended up losing tonight's game against the Timberwolves, when really this team needs to start building momentum to just stay alive for the rapidly approaching date of the playoffs. This team is it's had its fair share of criticism on its players, on its individual players. But now it's time to start acting a little more serious and start gaining momentum that we desperately need to head into the playoffs. So that leaves the Suns with a questioning problem of where are they going to go next. Uh, do we add another player to this Phoenix Suns roster in a probable trade, or do we continue rolling with this roster and the way it is? It's um it's questionable, but this team just does not look like it is able to get anything ready together. They're still very miscommunicating, and there's still a lot of problems that plague the Phoenix Suns. But other than that, the Suns were able to still have some sparks of of joy, I guess. I don't know. The Suns just They had some good spots. I'll say that for tonight. As although Devin Booker had 9 turnovers, I did say and mention his 8 assists, and he still scored 28 points out there. He did go unfortunate 2 of 7 from three, and he had his uh, highlight play of the game. So rough night for Devin Booker. And yeah, 9 turnovers is definitely not helping the Suns in any department. So unfortunate night for Book as the Minnesota Timberwolves discovered his biggest weakness, and that's what allowed them to walk away with the game here. Definitely, it's out of my uh, uh, kind of control here to uh, talk about where the Suns should fix that because I don't know how you would fix that in coming Timberwolves matchup. I should say that this is our second meeting against the Timberwolves. We have already lost the first matchup, if you don't remember, from a game winner of Julius Randle. So we are currently down 2-0 against Minnesota in the regular series. We're facing them 4 games this season, and the third game and fourth game will be upcoming in the month of March, is what I meant to say. So it's definitely curious on how the Suns are going to look by then if they want to find answers for this Timberwolves team. Um, but as of now, let's continue talking about the notable spots about the Suns. KD played 40 minutes and is my jersey of choice tonight. 33 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. Honestly, I am impressed. I didn't expect this of him. If you didn't catch it during the Clippers game, I believe it was like off of a loose ball rebound or something that like the Clippers fought extra hard on, and KD got caught between that. The point is that he like hurt his hand. And today on the injury report, he was listed as having a thumb injury, which could have prevented him from playing tonight. But they let it be a game time decision. And he practiced. He went out there to practice to see how it felt. And they determined it was good enough for him to play. So I did not expect, with all those conditions, for Kevin Durant to have such a big game. I was expecting 20 because he's still KD, all right? I don't think a thumb injury is going to be holding him back from 20 points or something. He's KD, okay? But 33 still is crazy. That's just a very efficient night from KD and is very much tonight's player of the game from the Phoenix Suns. So glad we have the Slim Reaper on our hands. And that it just becomes a question of let's not worry about KD here on this team. Let's worry about the team. All right. KD's going to be KD. We just got to worry about the rest of the team. And unfortunately, the rest of the team did not handle themselves in a big way, as we've previously already discussed. Unfortunate regresses in nights from Tyus Jones, who had 17 points against the Clippers, now only going 5 points. Went scoreless for most of that first half, but did get some looks in that second half. Unfortunate that some of those could not go in when we really could have needed them going forward. A good bounce back from Nick Richards, though, who was a +5, who was the uh, g- I don't really know, like game leader in minus scorer. I don't really know the terms here, but he was the biggest minus on this team in plus and minus the stats on this team against the Clippers, as Zubac was quite a problem for him. But Nick Richards was able to handle Gobert tonight in the minutes. I would have definitely liked to see a little more of him. I wish we'd put him in sooner, as Plumlee was not being able to handle Gobert down the stretch of this game. And Mason Plumlee ended up being a -15 out there with only 3 points. Nick Richards has 7 points and 5 rebounds for the night. So unfortunate regress. I would have liked to see a little bit of Oso. I felt like Oso could have seen a little minutes tonight. Although I guess the main reason why they wouldn't want Oso out there is against Gobert or probably Randall is the guys he would be having to deal with. It's probably because the weight. Uh, um, what's his name? Randall is a big guy. Oso, he's 7 foot. I don't think he has that much weight. Okay, I mean he doesn't look like he has that much weight out there. So that's my best guess on why we didn't see any Oso minutes. Who quick tangent. Oso went into the G League for a quick second. I don't know what that was about. He just kind of popped in. Actually, I do know what that was about because Oso is a rookie and he needs experience wherever he can get it. And these last few minutes with Nick Richards arriving in Phoenix, he's seen his minutes regress. So we want at least Oso to develop, and that's a very good reason why the Suns have a G League team now, the Valley Suns. So I'm very glad that Oso got to see a little bit of minutes in that. He dropped a double double. 18 points, 18 rebounds, I think is the stat line, but don't quote me on that. Um, so I kind of wish I saw some Oso minutes. I think he would have brought some energy. Um, d- Especially when athleticism was definitely a key in this game. Energy he could have definitely brought. And just another 7 foot guy in the paint. I don't know how tall Mason Plumlee is, but I guess I'll check real quick. He is 6'10", so whatever. Still lost the game. I don't know. I just thought Oso what would have been a good chance to take on tonight, but we didn't see anything from him. And then for our last of our starters, Rosa Neal got another start for the Phoenix Suns. His second start straight. He started against the Clippers, and with the main reason he started for the Clippers is because Ryan Dunn, our usual starter in that spot, was out with a ankle sprain. Um, so Rosanel took over his spot. But Ryan Dunn was able to be available for this game. He was able to heal up fast enough. Crazy that he was only gone for like 3 days and he recovered from an ankle sprain. But he returned. Unfortunate minutes from Ryan Dunn. He did score 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And he did an all right job of guarding uh, Anthony Edwards. He didn't stop him at any measures by any means, but it's really rough. It was really rough having Ryan Dunn out there. Just unfortunate night from him, and also unfortunate night for Royce O'Neal, who I mean technically he has been putting up the numbers, and I could kind of see the reasoning why Bud would start him again, mostly because Ryan Royce has been a part of one of our best lineups, statistically speaking, offensively and defensively. And I could also see them wanting to lessen Ryan Dunn's minutes when he comes back because you don't want to re-injure him, and also because Royce O'Neal played pretty well against the game. In the game against the LA Clippers. So he wants to reward those minutes for Royce O'Neal, who then destroyed those minutes as he only got 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals, 1 assists, and 4 fouls for tonight. Um, Not the best night for Royce, and yeah, you can say that a lot about a lot of the Suns. Um, but you can't say that about Bradley Bill as we're reaching the end of our Suns lineup here. Bradley Bill, who followed up that Clippers game, he had a pretty bad one, only 9 points, but Bradley Bill had a pretty good game. 6 of 10 from the field, 17 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. He did all right job. Somehow had 5 fouls. I don't know how he got those 5 fouls. I didn't notice that, but apparently he did. But 17 points is the bench leading of most points on our bench. So a pretty all right night from Bradley Bill. Not enough for the whole team, I guess. So just rough. And then last person we had to talk about is Grayson Allen, who got his 11 points eventually and also led the team in rebounds. Strange stat there. I don't know why Grayson Allen is leading our team in rebounds. He had 7 of them tonight. 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers, sorry, and 2 fouls. So it's definitely not the same game that the Suns had against the Clippers, where they had like 22 made threes and they came out offensive. Um, but like just like I said here, to wrap this little game up here, is that the Suns just weren't able to lock in and just ended up coming short of answers for the problematic Timberwolves, is a way you could put this game. So, uh, yeah, that's about it for this Phoenix Suns game. I already talked about it at the beginning. The Suns are now ninth in the West. Unfortunate game, but there's still opportunities. All right. The next day, there's always opportunities to improve, as our next game will be the last day of January before we head into February. That game will be Friday, January 31st against the Golden State Warriors. We will be in uh what do you call it? The Bay area. We will be at the Bay for that one. That will be on ESPN. Quick tangent again. This game should have totally been on national television. This was a good game either way you cut it. I felt like it was pretty good. Um, so next game, Friday, January 31st, Golden State at Golden State, I should say. And that ends our homestand, our 3-game homestand here in Phoenix, and we are now on a 4-game road trip where we face Golden State, 2 games against Portland, and then OKC. So, like I said, there's still chances for the Suns to prove themselves, notably the Golden State, Portland, and Oklahoma games. I mean, Portland, those should be easy wins that the Suns can get. Golden State, they are in an elimination category right now, so another chance to prove ourselves against them. And OKC, if we literally win that, I'll start believing in the Suns again. But as of right now, the Suns, how they're looking, it's tough to believe in them right now, as they are missing every chance to prove themselves as title contenders this year. So that is all I have for you today, and we'll see you January 31st against the Suns home game. I have to keep reiterating that. So remember, if you like this content, if you like our content, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps our whole channel. So I thank you very much for that. And we'll be back here with more Phoenix Suns content for you on the daily now. I've been kind of struggling daily with that daily, as I missed 2 days. So take my word for it. Anyway, we'll see you next Suns game time. Yeah, I would normally say enjoy your Suns win, but I cannot do that for tonight. So enjoy your evening. All right. Take that. So, all right. We'll see you guys here next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Kevin Durant delivers. Gorgeous move for Bradley Beal.